some I don't check the others, or some have done, some haven't done, then it's not fair for us. So I don't check individual, but I always check your group work. So can I say actually check your requirement analysis approach? Okay, requirement analysis approach. Can you show me what you have done so far? Just show me what you have done. Okay, which approach? Okay, you are planning to choose or you already choose. Then just show me what you have done so far for requirement analysis approach. Okay, so today we are at the managing conflict. Okay, so have you started with managing conflict? Haven't. Okay, okay. So I just want to remind something. Every student, you have your own module, right? So you have to identify at least 2 requirements, because conflict is not detected if you don't have more than 1 requirement. So for the conflict, right? You need, okay, so managing conflict. Okay, you have to identify requirement 1, requirement 2. Okay, so there are 4 steps. Remember, managing conflict, there are 4 steps. Okay, 4 steps. The first step, okay, you have to identify the 2 requirements that overlapping. Okay, so you have to identify the 2 requirements that overlapping. What I mean by overlapping, they have, okay, some parts of the requirement similar, overlap with each other. After you done with number, okay, identifying the overlapping requirement, you have to detect the conflict. You have to detect the conflict. So you have to highlight to me which one is the conflict. Which one is the conflict? For example, let's talk about an example. Like the other day, I take the one from the lecture. No, I think patron. Okay, so patron says that. Okay, the other one's librarian. Librarian says that. Patron says that the book borrowed can be kept as long as the book borrowed can be kept as long as the borrower wants. Okay. Here, librarian says that the book borrowed can be kept for, let's say, 3 weeks. So meaning the duration of loan is 3 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks. So now overlapping part is for the part 1. For the part 1, overlapping is the borrower. Okay, the book borrowed can be kept. Okay, can be kept. This is overlapping. Book borrowed can be kept. Okay, so this is the overlapping part. Correct one. Then you have to detect the conflict. Conflict is actually here. As long as he or she wants. Here it says only for 3 weeks. This too, not saying. By right, if you are talking about the same requirement, it should be exactly the same. But here, the same requirement from 2 different people, 2 different stakeholders. But this one says you can keep as long as you want, while this one says now you have to only keep for 3 weeks. So now this is the conflict. Okay, this is the conflict. So you understand, right? So after detect, you have to come up with the resolutions. Okay, 3 resolutions. Okay. Got 5 tactics. So I want you to try your best to come up with 5 resolutions. I know some for your information. For some of the conflict, right? You cannot come up with resolution for certain tactic because very strong. So you cannot use like restore. Restore not possible, which is very strong. Okay, some not possible if it's very strong. So in that case, you can ignore. But you try your best to come up with 5 resolutions for 5 tactics. When you really find that there is no way to do it, then you can skip that tactic. Okay, but don't simply skip, because later if I can come up with a resolution using any tactic that you have skipped, it will affect your marks. Okay, so this is also individual contribution, because every module. Okay, then after you done with that, number 4, finally you have to evaluate the resolutions. and choose the best resolution. So of course we only going to do one, we are going to only come up with one solution. So finally, okay, let's say I go for 5 resolution, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I choose all the 5 tactics. For example, avoid the boundary. I say how to do. Okay. If I use avoid the boundary, what can be the resolution? The best resolution. I need the resolution. Then the next one, weaken. If I want to weaken the gap between these two requirements, what I can do? Then third one, maybe drop, restore, or specialize. So I have 5 resolution. Then at the end, I choose the best. Okay, so I can discuss. If I go for this, what happens? If I go for this, what's wrong? If I go for this, what's wrong? Then at the end, I say, the best is actually drop one of the requirements or specialize one of the requirements. So I go for only one answer. Fine. And you have to have a reason for choosing one. You cannot simply say I go for this or I go for that. Okay? So every student, every module must have one set of this. You can actually do completely within one page. This one. So 1 to 1.5 page. If you really analyze, not too much, not too little, you can go for 1 to 1.5 page every module. So meaning if you have 4 students, 4 modules, 4 pages to 6 pages. If 5 students, then 5 to 7 pages. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this one important. Okay, I want you to do. So have you started with this? Can I check this one also today, or you want to show me next week? Done this one? So done means I want to check for everyone together. If anyone not done, then I don't want to check today. I check next week. So today I check the requirement analysis approach. Any team has haven't do this? Haven't one team. Any other team? Then I don't check today. Because it's not fair. I will check all the teams. Remember, I will check this next week for all the teams. So at least show me, so that if I see anything wrong, I can point out. Okay. Okay. So today I'm going to check on the requirement analysis approach. Okay, I'm going to check on the requirement analysis approach. So I want you to tell me whether you go for viewpoint oriented analysis or object oriented analysis. Okay. Okay. Now just to share with you, okay, where are you at the report now? Okay, just to share with you. Have you done part 1? Introduction done or not? Okay, remember only part 1 need reference, because part 1 is actually collection of information, so you can refer any resource. Okay, so part 1 got references. You have to make sure you place references over here. Okay, part 2 done or not? All about the product introduction. Product introduction. Your product means the system that you're going to develop. Introduction of the system, the idea. Okay, you have to introduce the idea. That all. So last class, I remember I was asking you to do number 3. Okay, number 3. Number 3, I remember I asked you to come up with all the other requirements, functional requirements. Okay. Then use case diagram, one main use case for whole system with all the modules as use case. Then each use case you draw your module use case diagram with the description table. For the description table, I write every use case in your use case meaning. Just to remind you, I don't want any big mistake later because that will affect your mark. For example, this is overall use case, right? Overall use case. So module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5. Let's say you have 3 actors. Just an example. This example only. Okay. Let's say you have 3 actors. Module 1 only, module 2 only this actor. Module 3, 4 got, let's say, then this one also all 3. Let's say, this is an example. Okay. So when you done the overall system, this is overall use case. So meaning you have 5 modules, right? So what I ask you to do, every module must come up with one more use case. Module 1 for example, module 1 use case. So module 1 use case diagram. So you see module 1 only got 1 actor. So tally only 1 actor. You see, module 1, only one actor. The others are not involved. So only one. Okay? So let's say this is A, B, C. So only A. Then you have to break down this module 1 into all the main functions. You can have your extend, include, whatever. Okay? I want all. Everything. No. After you break down everything, I want, you see how many main use case I have here? Class, how many main use case I have?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. So I count now. 1, 2, 3, 4. By right, you have to give me description table. Use case, okay, description table. Description table 1. You have to give me table 2, table 3, table 4. Is this what I asked you to do? 3 and 4. Because you have how many main use case in your module? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1 for 1 use case. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend include on it. They are already included. Understand or not? All the main use case. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is main use case? Directly linked to the actor. Associate with the actor. So what 4 means, by that you have to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 description tables. But then I gave you one excuse. You remember or not? What was the excuse? Is it compulsory for you to draw all the description table? What excuse I gave you last class? You didn't listen? Is it compulsory to draw, every main use case in your module must come up with a description table?
No.
Compulsory? No. Because you know what, like login just username password for example. Simple login. Everyone knows validation and then login go in. But login also considered quite good. So you maybe login you can show. But sometimes very simple function. Reset password or whatever. Very simple. Only 1 or 2 steps. Only to delete table anymore. Okay? Whichever you find like very simple steps. 2 or 3 steps. Yes. Okay? I don't mind. I understand. Time consuming. But if you're hardworking enough, you have enough time, you can just put. But if I really notice some functions very simple, I don't really mind this. Okay? So I want all the main functions of description table. Must be given. Okay? Clear? That's the excuse I give you for use case diagram. So remember, if you have 5 members, 5 modules, 5 use case diagram. Plus 1 overall. So 6. If you have 4 members, 4 modules, 4 module use case diagram, plus 1 overall. 5 use case. Clear? Then class diagram, 1 whole class diagram for 1 system. Or 1 class diagram for the whole system. So only 1. Group work. Clear? Description table usually, like for example, right? One of your function, let's say class. Let's say one of your module, class, listen up. One of your module is order, manage booking. Let's say one of your module is manage booking. So in manage booking, I'm very sure one of your function is make booking. Correct or not? Make booking. Example, so here the module name is manage booking. So when you draw for manage booking, you have to make booking. Correct or not? So that make booking, you have to show me the steps. So you have your system response, user action. So what user perform? User action, and then you have system response. Then you have main flow, alternative flow. So you have to show me the steps, breakdown, make booking, breakdown, step by step, starting from the page where you start making booking. So what are the steps to make booking? Browse for the product, add to the cart, or what? So request for the booking. So how it works in your system? Steps. You understand? Use case description table, how we do? For example, okay, let me show you an example.
You need to do all the functions, or only pick one function.
This is what I mentioned just now. You have 4 main function right here. 4 main function. You have to do for all the important functions. Not necessarily one, but any important functions like main functions you have to do. Simple functions can ignore. Okay, I'll show you an example. I have some example of diagram from my tutorial. Yeah, I just have to do like which one I pick up. I go for additional process. register a new member, make online meal order. This is module or this is the whole system? Obviously this is module. This is module. Okay. So change meal order. So it's all about placing order, payment. Okay. So we have like make order, change meal, make online payment. Okay. So here got a lot of main function. How many main functions? 1, 2, 3, 4. This one already extends. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Do you have to draw for all 4? By right, yes. By right, yes. According to what use case diagram principles, you have to come up with 4 description tables for this diagram. You know what? You have 1 function, 2 functions, 3, 4 main functions. The rest all include what? Include extend only. This form must provide 1 description table each. But in exam, what I do? I told you what. In exam, can I ask you to do for all 4? You won't have enough time. And the marks also not much. So what I do? I choose 1. So which one I choose? In exam, I always go for something which is interesting. Exam, I always take which is more challenging. So for example, make online meal order. So when I take the meal, make online meal order, how you prepare the description table? Remember the structure? First, you must have the use case name. Then you must have the actor, whoever actor involved. Here got 2 actors or 1 actor. Only 1. So by right, this is already wrong. Only 1. In your diagram, 1 means here also 1. Okay. Then you should have the brief description about the module or the function, the use case. Then start from the page. Always assume that you don't talk about register here. You see register is also another function. But I want you to draw the diagram, description table for online meal order, make order. So only talk about make order. Don't talk about register or login or whatever. No need. So you start. Okay, you are at the meal order page. So you display the system will display the form for you when you click on the meal order. You select the meal and add to cart. Then of course it will check the availability. When you type the quantity and all that, it will check whether everything is available. Then it will prompt you for a delivery address. You enter the address, it will check because according to the scenario, right, you can only order within Klang Valley. If you go away from Klang Valley or you are out of Klang Valley, the system will ask you to re-enter the address or maybe cannot proceed. So that's why I have here checking, another checking. If it's within the Klang Valley, can proceed, ask you to confirm the order and the system will save the order. Listen now, will prompt you to go and make payment. So do you have to show the payment in the same diagram? Because I see sometimes students just continue everything in one table. Can or not? You know why? Make payment is another function. So another table. Understand or not? It is another use case description table. Don't talk about payment in the same table. Wrong. Okay, clear? So now this is what I want. So just now this one check availability. If not available, what happened? Got another flow. This one, if address not within Klang Valley, what happened? Another flow. Then this one confirm order. If you wish to cancel suddenly, what happened? So by right you should have 3 alternatives. Here only got 2. By right 3. One is available or not meal. Second is delivery address availability, and third is order, confirm order or cancel order. Okay, so 3 alternatives. Clear? So that's how you have to give me. Okay, but then your question just now, Miss, I have 4 main functions in my module. Do I have to draw 4 diagrams? What's the answer? Yes or no?
No.
No. That's why I say, I know you are very busy with a lot of assignment, I understand your, but I cannot ask you to just choose one, which is not good. It's not a good complete work. So that's why I like you to do for all the important functions. So in this 4 functions, whichever you find important, I want you to do. Provide 1 description table. If you guys are okay, got enough time, you want to do for each and everything, good. So maximum 4 for this example. I'm talking about this example, 4. So if you can give me 2 also, I find very good already, more than half. You understand or not? 2 is fine already. But don't do just 1 lah, not enough, not sufficient. Okay? Clear? Have I answered your question for use case? Okay, so no worries, only use case quite a lot of work. Class diagram is the group work. State chart. State chart, remember what you have to do? Every module. Okay, now go to state chart. State chart. Okay, let me say, I don't have a very complete class diagram with me here, but I have in my other books. Books, yes. Okay, so let me find a class diagram for ordering system. Just an example, okay. Which one is big, huh? This one is nice. Let me just. Okay, yeah, this one seems like okay a bit. Okay, why I like this? Because of the, I trust the review paradigm of this, okay? Okay, I have customer class, I have order class, I have item class, I have payment class. Payment, I got 4 other classes. You understand or not? So, how do you draw your state chart diagram? Tell me. State chart diagram, how? This is your group work. The whole class diagram, okay, belongs to the whole system. Correct or not? Group work. So, how do you identify how many class, state chart diagram you have to draw? Tell me. How many state chart diagram you have to draw, class? Any limit? No. You know what? Here this is whole system, right? So just now you check back whose module is order. Make order under whose module. So this class under whose module? Customer comes under whose module? Sometimes overlap. You also have customer, your friend also got customer. You understand or not? So order may be yours. Then yeah, payments are maybe your friend's one. So you have like different classes, right? Yeah. So now you have so many classes here, right? You can pick each of you, divide the classes equally among each member. Okay. Since customer, both of us also involve customer, I take customer. Okay, you take staff or whatever. You can just allocate, make sure you have enough number of objects or classes for everyone. Then you have to draw the state chart diagram for order. For example, customer, your friend. Payment, another student. Take 1 each or 2 each. Depends on how many you have. Okay, clear? So 1 class, 1 state chart diagram by right. Okay? So now I have a question. Can I combine these 2 in 1 diagram, state chart? In my state chart, can I have customer and also order? Can I have 2 together? Can or not? Oh, that's what I always get from students. Can or not? Cannot. State chart diagram, 1 diagram, talk about 1. Okay, you cannot talk about, you know what, students always do this, They say, they talk about order class. Okay, order class, what are the status? Can you give me the status for order class? In order class, can you have registered as one of the status? Registered as one of the status, can or not? Order class, registered as one of the status. Registered is for what? Customer registered or not, right? So it's more to membership class or maybe customer class. So how can you have order registered? So this belongs to customer class. So wrong status because you combine both classes. So wrong. That's the common mistake I always see. Every semester I will have students doing this. Even though I explain sometimes many times, but then I always get this mistake. You cannot combine more than 1 class in 1 diagram. 1 diagram, 1 class only. Now you have to identify all the state changes. Sometimes students get very panicked when there are only 2 state changes. 2 state changes, example, yeah, payment. Payment, paid, unpaid. They say, how come? My friend got so many status, I got only 2 status. So they cannot take. They go and simply add a few more. Cannot. If only 2, then that's good. Alright. Don't worry. Because your class only has 2 status. So it's okay, fine. Just draw that 2 status. Don't get panicked when it's too little. And simply go and add other status. Wrong. Okay? You understand or not? Like ATM the other day, ATM we have only idle. Then next, you remember ATM machine or ATM system? Idle means no one is using. When someone is using, what happens? It cannot work, out of service. Out of service. Okay, this one? If it's working fine, what's the status? Ready for you to use? Ready for available? Available and idle same. Available here is ready for you to use. Okay, when you are using, what is that? Active. So only three status. ATM. When someone is using, active. When no one there, system will go to what you call that, still screen, right? That is actually idle, ready for anyone to use. Sometimes you go there, it will have one word there, machine out of service. Then out of service. So these are the three stages. Once fixed, go back to active or idle. Okay? Understand? So stages are not many usually. You just capture all the important stages and draw the diagram. That's it. Okay? So very few stages. Don't worry. Don't get worried. Okay? It's fine. It's common. Okay? Don't go and combine two classes in one diagram. Wrong. Okay? Clear? So how many class diagram also I cannot promise you. Sorry, how many state chart diagram also I cannot simply say maximum 4, minimum 5 or no, nothing. Okay? It depends on your diagram. You have so many classes, then divide equally 2, 2, 2, 2. If you have not many, then 1 each enough. 1 each state chart. Okay? If you have so many classes, then 2 each. Okay? 2 each. That's all. Clear or not? At the end, you will complete the whole requirement document. Everything will be there. When you take up each, what do you call that, task, at the end, you put all together, you will have complete system requirements. Clear? Functional requirement also individual task. Okay? Did I explain non-functional requirement? What do you have to do for non-functional requirement? One more thing I explain today, then I go around to see your requirement analysis approach. Okay, I want to check this. One more last thing I want to explain is this one, non-functional requirement. Where is non-functional requirement? Class. Okay, you have to go for performance requirement like this, 4.1, security 4.2, okay, and other quality attributes you can just list down, continue 4.3. You can put 4.3 other requirements, then you can put 4.3.1 reliability, 4.3.2 like this, 4.3.1 reliability, 4.3.2, 4.3.1 for example, reliability. Then explain. Okay, 4.3.2. Let's say we already have performance here. If you have no hardware, do you have the safety? Do you have safety if you know you got no hardware? No, no need. You know what is safety or not? Then after that, all the others you just put 4. You can just call software quality attributes general. Then you can put 3.1, 3.2, 4.3, 3, 4.3, 4, and so on. So availability, whatever, availability, flexibility or whatever. Okay, continue. Okay. So now only one thing you need to know. When write non-functional requirement. Okay. Before I continue with how to do non-functional requirement, do you know what's the difference between safety and security?
Security is technical stuff, and about the safety is about personal.
Yeah, actually you got the idea. Okay, safety is all about the user and environment. Safety is about the user who uses the system and the environment where the system works. So anything happen to the user or environment due to the system failure or whatever, that is safety. But security is whatever within the system, mainly data. So when the system data is stolen, the system data is leaked, then security. When you say safety, if the system can hurt environment, can harm the user, then safety. So, if just a web-based system, do you think you have to talk about safety? Yes or no? Safety. When I was typing when I was registering, I got electric shock or current shock. Got or not? No, right? So no need to just ignore. Safety, no. If mobile application got safety or not? Mobile application. When you register, can harm you or can harm environment? No, right? So if it's a device like embedded system, for example, robot, okay? Robot, instead of cleaning the house, come and vacuum. Then safety. Or you try to, sometimes remove the dust or whatever collected in the robot, your hand is harmed. Yes, safety. Okay, or current leaking. You can feel the current leak. Safety, because it's a device. You understand or not? Vending machine. When you are trying to collect the food from the slot. Let's say the slot closes before you take out your hand. Or the hot water pour by the time you collect your cup. Safety. You understand or not? So if your system got nothing to do with safety, remove the word safety. Don't put it there. Okay? Only security. Security, yes. Every system has security because information, data. Okay? All your system got data. No data, no system. So all your system deal with security. But no safety. Most of the system got no safety unless you are really developing a system which is device based, hardware based. Then yes. Clear? Like noise control system. Sometimes system failure cannot really detect the noise that exceed the limit, and all the people staying around that place got what do you call the mental stress due to the sound produced by the system. That is safety. That is obviously safety. Chemical. You have a system to detect when the chemical level is getting higher or release the gas, poisonous gas. System failure. Cannot detect. So gas release and kill so many people around or environment around the around the system. Safety. Do you understand? Medical system while surgery is going on. Or MRI test, for example, when patient is going through MRI scan. Let's say the system affect the heart of the patient. Safety. Your system like no mobile application or simple ordering system or sales system, usually no safety. Only security. Clear? So not relevant, just remove. Don't worry. Nothing to do with your system, remove. No need. Okay? So now tell me, how do you write the requirements? How do you write the requirement? Is there any criteria I will check later? How do I give you? Okay. So non-function requirement, everyone got to. Everyone got to 10 or 20 requirements. Wow, very good. Do I give full mark for everyone? So what do I check? How do I evaluate? Non-functional requirement. Functional I can check if you have covered all the functions, have you written in a proper way, standard way of writing requirement. So there are criteria for me to evaluate. How about the non-functional requirement? How do I check? Anyone? Two important keywords. Specific, non-functional requirement, specific, measurable. If your requirement fulfill this two, you will get your marks. Okay? Meaning you write like this. The system downtime should be the lowest. Now this is the requirement from the client. The system downtime must be the lowest. So you develop the system already. Can you prove to the client the system downtime is the lowest now? What do you mean by lowest? Who can define lowest? For you lowest maybe 5 seconds. For someone, 5 minutes still consider lowest. Everyone have their own definition, interpretation. That's not the right way. Some say like this, performance always high. What do you mean by high? How many transactions per second? You must have the value, the figure. Then only can measure, can prove. Okay, I have fulfilled your non-functional requirement. If you don't have the figure right, everyone can say, hey, this is high one. For me, this is high. Right? So there's no clear specialization. Okay? So can you understand now? So must be measurable and must be specific. Clear? What I mean by specific, you say okay, must have a very protective login system. Very protective and very secure login system. Can you say this is security requirement? What do you mean by protective and what do you call that? Protective and secure login system. What do you mean by that? Do you mean image processing? Do you mean biometric? Do you mean anything else? So you have to give me specifically. What do you mean? So that's what I want. Non-functional requirement. I don't want to see high, low, secure. What do you call that? Acceptable. This kind of words are not allowed. Aircon working or not? Not really, right? Did you check? On, temperature also cannot check. Temperature low means cold, right? So I don't know whether. Let's see. Okay, so you understand? So I stop here for what do you call that? What you have to complete for now. What about your side? You want to present to me your requirement analysis approach today? You want to show me the requirement analysis approach today? Ready or not? Not ready. Okay, can I just check your group is choosing viewpoint or OOA? OOA. What about the next group? Viewpoint? Viewpoint. What about your group? Viewpoint or OOA? OOA. OOA. So there's only one group viewpoint. Okay, fine. So I will check this one and I will check two things next week. Never mind. I don't get the pressure. I don't check first. Can I check both? Next week, no more explanation of the task because I want you to complete first, then only we will look at the. Because I already explained you have to do this one today. Right. This one. Right. This one next class, maybe the class after next class. So now just complete the managing conflicts. Okay, managing conflict. You see, class. Managing conflict. You must complete this, okay? Clear, right? This one more task only left, which will be done later. Okay? So next class, can you show me this two? Okay or not? I want to check this two. Okay or not? Every group work, this one. Can you show me? Okay, even though this is considered group work, but you still need to do for every module. Every module, like I said, this is for every module. One. Okay, each module one. So you can just ask every student to do one, their own module. Then maybe we can sit together and discuss if they have done correctly. Discuss together. Every module one. Okay? So you have to find conflict in every module.
Because this one is already
Clash
follow the
reduction,
template.
inter and intra. Okay, no problem. Okay. But usually, logically, right, same module will have high chances to have conflict, because they're talking about the same thing. Can you give me an example of different module? I can't imagine. Different module can clash.
This one is more
Different module? Example, please. I'm so curious. Different module. Please do it. But the requirements still talk about the same, same module requirement, right? Or you sure it's going to be two different modules? Can be different viewpoint, that's different, that's the source, right? Come from the stakeholders, right? That one can be different stakeholder. The same stakeholder who, if I tell you two requirements, which clash, even my two requirements clash, then something wrong with me. You understand or not? So obviously two different stakeholder, but I don't think different modules. Anyone, class, I need some feedback. Anyone has requirement from two different modules clashing each other? Got or not? Requirement from two different modules clash each other. Got or not? Hello. Wow. I would like to see. Huh?
The navigation menu module, if you want to come out the config, also very difficult.
Navigation menu.
Oh.
What's the title? Bus tracking system. Navigation. Can you please read a few requirements from navigation module so I can give you some
You
suggestions?
mean the function?
Yeah, functions.
I manage notification, view notification, customize, arrange, and manage the route.
Yeah, notification also can have some clash. Okay, possible. You know, like how the notification is created. You know, the notification lasts for how long? Okay, or notification is like, yeah, okay. So how the notification is displayed. A lot of things. Can be a simple thing that you create some clash. Here, what I want to see is, I want to see how you solve. So the clash, I don't bother, you can write any clash. Two requirement, any clash, any type of clash. Then the most important thing, how you resolve. Because the marks is more to the resolution, how you resolve. Okay, how you solve the problem. You understand? I want to see whether you are able to solve the resolution, config or not. So that's why I request every module to have one. So I want to see whether you guys understand the tactics or not. Okay, that's the purpose actually. Yes. Any question can ask me? Yeah. Oh, I understand. You want to know the sequence. You can do like this. If you do like this, the sequence is not important. If you put choose date, when you choose date, include choose time. So during the choosing date, only you can choose the time slot. That's the meaning. So it depends on you, your system requirement, how it goes. If like this means if all functions must be done in order to preserve the system. But if you really have if you put this one included here, you can only see the time slot when you are trying to choose the date. So that you can to be possible. Choose bus stop, then that one can be separated like this. Yeah, the time can be changed the date, as you say. Bus stop, okay. Depends on the logic of your system. Then select seat, also included in the bus, right? Because different bus, different seats. Okay. Any questions, you guys? So far, okay? Now you have to spend time and complete your work, okay?
This requirement is for the case, and if I want to add the XD question, also need to write the
I write down if let's say description table. You're talking about description table or this one main functions, right?
Yeah. And if I want to add like here,
Accent, yeah, accent is
same lah. But I only one module, I've got five rules already.
one module, five what?
5 factors, really 5 factors.
Okay.
Because we need to do the main
But
use.
are you sure your system got five different roles, five different users? You got difference within the users? If for example, let's say I go and buy a canteen, staff and student, two different roles. But when we go to the canteen, the procedure is the same. When I use the system, the same system way. Then you don't need to separate. You can just call us as buyers. We don't have to mention stuff so that both of us need to go same procedure.